Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and I'm sure we can all agree that Project Big Picture was a load of rubbish. It was just a power grab by the Premier League's elite, presented as a financial package to save the EFL. They could have the money they wanted, but it would come at a price. Project Big Picture meant that the top six would effectively run the Premier League, calling the shots and ensuring that it was them that would always stay at the top. But after a Premier League shareholders meeting the other day, it's no longer happening, and thank goodness. The clubs voted against the proposal and will instead look at creating another financial package for the AFL, one that doesn't involve the Big Six throwing their weight around and telling everyone what to do. There was even talk of the Big Six leaving the Premier League if they didn't get their way, and to be honest, that sounds like a great idea. Let the Big Six go off and do the thing. They can go and make all the money they want doing whatever in some kind of European Super League, while the Premier League can go back to being competitive and unpredictable. Using Football Manager 2020, I've made this happen. Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, Man United and Tottenham are no longer Premier League clubs. They're gone. Instead, they're part of what's called the English Super League, a totally separate league to everyone else. The only issue is I think I must have made a mistake in the editor, as there isn't actually any games in this league. So I think by season 2 these clubs will have nothing to do, as they won't even be in Europe. But never mind, that's not my problem. We'll save the European Super League video for another time. This is about what the English Football League would look like without those top teams. So as I say, the famous Big Six are gone, meaning there are 6 spaces in the Premier League. So what I've done is scrap relegation from the previous year, meaning Norwich, Bournemouth and Watford are back, and they're joined by the other 3 clubs who made the playoffs the year prior, Brentford, Cardiff and Swansea. Obviously this means we've had to make changes to the Championship, then League 1, then League 2, then the National League. Christ, it took forever to sort out. For now though, we're just going to focus on the Premier League and the Championship. So coming up to the second tier, you've got Portsmouth, Fleetwood and Oxford, as well as the teams who've been relegated. Let's simulate 3 years into the future and check in after every season to see what's gone down. Can the Premier League continue to thrive without the elite clubs, or will the quality and reputation drop so much that it loses its special standing in the game? Let's find out. Okay, so here we are at the start of the simulation. As you can see here, we've got the English Premier Division, the Premier League, and the Big Six are gone. Brentford are in, we've got Cardiff there, we've got Norwich are back, Bournemouth, Watford. Who else we've got in there? Swansea, that was it. You can see here, competition reputation. The Premier League is now down to the 3rd most reputable competition. That is because the new English Super League is top of the pops. I can't click on it because I think I did something wrong with the editor that made it. I don't know what happened. I don't actually think the league works. But Man City are in there. If you click on them here, English Super League. Can't do anything with it, but they're in it. You know, you got Chelsea. They're in it as well. I don't know what I've done wrong, but it doesn't matter. I'll do a European Super League another time. That's not what this is about. This is about what the Premier League and the Championship would be like if the Big Six had gone. So let's simulate 1 year into the future and let's see who wins the Premier League. Okay, so here we are, the 2nd of June 2020. The first season of the new Premier League is done. The Big Six are gone and the winners are Leicester. Yes, 2 times Premier League winners now. The Foxes have come top of the pops with 79 points, beating Everton at the title by 6 points. It was Leicester and Everton in the top 2 spots. And in 3rd place, we have a returning Bournemouth. That's pretty shocking, to be honest, considering they're meant to be a Championship team. So fair play to Jason Tindall for his work in the virtual world of Football Manager. Rounding out the top 4 is Southampton, who will be playing Champions League football for the first time. And 5th was Burnley, who got 62 points. They were only just a point off qualifying for the Champions League. They picked Fulham in European football, another team who were pretty close to getting in the Champions League, to be honest. It looks like it's been a lot more competitive, the Premier League. Still, that magic 40-point mark exists. That's what's needed to survive. The teams that didn't survive were Cardiff. I'm not surprised that Cardiff didn't survive. Then we've got Watford on 37 points and then Brentford on 38. Crystal Palace surviving just with 40 points. Well, have a look at the results. Crystal Palace won 1-0 against Brighton on the final day to get them to the magic 40-point mark, while Brentford, they drew 0-0 with West Brom. If they'd won that game, they needed quite a big goal swing. They would have been on 40 points as well. But there we have it. Leicester, Premier League champions once again. They only lost 5 games all season. That's pretty good. Well, have a look at the player stats. We've got Chris Wood is the Premier League's top scorer with 25 goals. That's incredible. Danny Ings 2nd with 19, then we've got Neil Maupay 3rd with 16. The best player's average rating was Wilfried Ndidi with a 7.4, then you've got Chris Wood and Alan. Assists, Philip Billing with 12, Jack Stacey with 12, and James Ward-Prowse with 9. It looks like Chris Wood's had an incredible season. 7 man of the match awards. When we come to clean sheets, Fraser Forster top the pops alongside Matty Ryan and Kasper Schmeichel. Yellow cards, Aidan Flint. Well done, Aidan. We're very proud of you for just kicking people. That's fine. This has worked out quite interestingly. It's really interesting to see Bournemouth come so high up. I mean, I think I disabled transfers for the first window, but we'll have a look. I've downloaded a database where I've got the most recent transfers, but obviously this is starting in 2019 season, so you've still got Lloyd Kelly's move there. But if you look on the other side here, Callum Wilson's got Newcastle. You've got that, what was meant to happen, you just haven't got the right transfer fees. So really Bournemouth, that's a championship team they've got, and they are now going to be playing Champions League football. Newcastle Live came in the top half, as of West Ham, and Wolves are surprising. To think Wolves only came 10th with 52 points. You'd think they would have been competing for the title with the players they've got. Let's see what's happened there. Marcelo Bielsa's now the manager. Interesting. A bit disappointing that is from Wolves. The big six have gone and they've actually done worse. If we look at the bottom here, Leeds survived. They've qualified for the Europa League. So that would suggest that they've had some cup success. Obviously Marcelo Bielsa's gone. Gordon Strachan's the manager now for some unknown reason. Let's have a look at their schedule. The FA Cup was won by Leeds. This is fantastic. This simulation, I'm happy with this one season in. We've got new teams winning. I know Leicester have won the Premier League before, but the fact that Leeds won the FA Cup is fantastic. A 1-1 draw in the final with West Ham, and it went to penalties. In the end, it was Leeds who won 4-3 in the shootout. I'm so thrilled with that. No sign of any big boys dominating things. I think the League Cup didn't happen for some reason. I think with the database I downloaded for the transfers and whatnot, there was a bug in it that meant the Carabao Cup doesn't happen in the first season, but that's fine, let's not worry about that. Leeds had a wonderful start to the season, 1 draw and 3 wins from the first 4 games. Still, they only just narrowly survived, so you'd like to think Leeds are one of the biggest teams in the division, so that's not the greatest of seasons. We'll have a look at the Championship, see what's happened there. Let's see who's coming up to the Premier League. So obviously we've got Brentford, Watford and Cardiff going back down to the Championship. Let's have a look at who is coming up. And it's Nottingham Forest have won the title, Derby have won the playoffs, and also Bristol City. This is just fabulous. Obviously loads of teams have came up from the Championship into the Premier League, it's basically made it a wide open championship, and Forest have come out on top with 97 points. That's a fantastic haul. Bristol City second, it's going to be their first taste of Premier League football, and they're followed by Derby, the team that everyone seems to back to come up every season, and they never do, but this time they've won the playoffs, beaten Stoke 1-0 in the playoff final after extra time, meaning the Potters won't be coming back to the Premier League just yet. I'm sure we'll see them in a few years' time, you'd like to think. Have a look who's going down. Portsmouth, Fleetwood and Wickham. That's, again, not really a surprise. Charlton very nearly went down. Charlton must have survived on goals scored because they've got minus 22, just the same as Portsmouth, 41 points. There's not really any surprises in the Championship. When you look at the teams from 16th down, it's kind of who you'd expect to be there. Hull surprisingly have came 8th. They narrowly missed out on the playoffs. Obviously things aren't quite as desperate there as they are in reality. We'll have a look at some of the teams in the English Super League. I mean, Pep Guardiola's still there, they've got all the big boys. If we look at the schedule, all they've done is play in the Champions League. We'll go on competitions. No mention of the English Super League. Here they've just played in the Champions League and the Community Shield. I've dropped a bollock when I've made this, but that wasn't the point of this. I didn't care what the big six are doing. They can just be playing tiddlywinks for all I care. What matters is the new Premier League, the new fresh exciting Premier League where anyone can win it. And Leicester have, so well done to Leicester. Brendan Rodgers' team winning the title. I'm assuming Brendan Rodgers is still the manager. Let's have a little look. He is, Brendan Rodgers with his first... Would that be his first major title? Well, it depends what you class the Scottish Premier League as. I mean, you won Hods with Celtic, but... Whatever, his first major championship in England. Obviously, he didn't win a thing with Liverpool. Jamie Vardy, the skipper, how well did he do? Only 8 goals in 18 games. Not the best of seasons for Jamie Vardy. Let's have a look who the star player was. Wilfred Ndidi, Ricardo Pereira, Cengiz Under did really well. So Leicester have won the first season of the new Premier League. Let's simulate one more year into the future. What I'm interested to see is, over time, will a new Big Six emerge? Or, with the top teams gone, will it just be a free-for-all every season? I mean, we've got Bournemouth coming third. You'd think the big teams are going to be Leicester, Everton and Wolves. Leicester and Everton haven't disappointed. They've came first and second, but Wolves down in 10th. Let's simulate 1 year into the future. Let's see if Leicester can defend their title. Will they become the dominant force in English football? Let's find out. Okay, here we are, year 2 of the simulation. As you can see here, we have got a new Premier League champion. It is Everton, the new big club on Merseyside. Forget all about Liverpool. Everton have won Everton have won the Premier League in 2021. Just like what's going to happen this season, potentially. Probably not, but I mean, they're looking good so far. Everton, top of the pops. I've said that twice now. Everton, top of the league. They got the most points out of anyone, 78. Just pipping Bristol City to the title. Bristol City, newly promoted to the Premier League. Like Bournemouth the year before, they've shocked everyone to do so well. They've got 76 points and we're just 2 points off winning the title. That is sensational. Who's the manager there? It's Dean Holden. Have they spent any money? Let's have a look. 32 million, it's not massive amounts. Shea Ojo, their big arrival, for £10 million from forgotten Liverpool. He got 5 assists, didn't really do much. He played 21 games for Liverpool. So is this English Super League happening? Because Shea Ojo got 6 goals in 21 games. In some sort of league. I just don't know what's going on with this English Super League. I know I said it wasn't about that, but I kind of want to know what I did wrong. Because it seems to be happening, but I can't find out who won it. We'll have a look at that later. But anyway, Bristol City, second in the Premier League. Going to be playing Champions League football. Also rounding out the top 4, Crystal Palace, who came third. Let's have a look. I mean, I'm sure last season they were near the relegation zone. Yeah, last season Crystal Palace was 17th, just 2 points they survived by. This season they've came third, only 5 points off top spot, and they'll be playing Champions League football. In 4th we've got the champions Leicester, who were slightly off the pace. 5th, Wolves have improved, and Newcastle there in 6th, who are back in European football. Leeds have climbed the table to 7th. Going down we've got Aston Villa, Swansea and the newly promoted Nottingham Forest. They only got 25 points. It looks like the relegation zones were pretty clean cut. Derby survived. With 42 points. Let's have a look at Everton here. Carlo Ancelotti winning the title. I mean, he's a trophy winning machine, isn't he? Who was the best player? It was Gabriel Barbosa, a new signing at Goodison Park from Fluminense. No, he wasn't from... Was it Fluminense or Flamengo? It was Flamengo. He's from Flamengo. 19 goals, 6 assists, 12 Man of the Match awards. He looks like the poster boy for the Premier League now. What's happening at Leicester? Brendan Rodgers is still there. Let's have a look at how Leicester got on, because obviously they will have been in the Champions League. Didn't get through the group stage. But it's still been an alright season for Leicester. If we'll see at the bottom here, they beat Everton 3-1 in the FA Cup final. So Everton very close to doing a double. But obviously they haven't, they lost. But that's still fair enough. They beat Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. Right, go back to this final here. Leicester went 1-0 up. Everton went down to 10 men. It was Yarlan Barrera's brace, whoever he is. Some Colombian guy who they signed from a Colombian team. His goals won it. Tell you what happened in the League Cup. Let's take a look. It was Southampton who won the League Cup. In the final they beat Bournemouth, so we had a South Coast derby at Wembley. Moussa Djenepo with a brace. Helder Costa put Bournemouth 1-0 up in the 4th minute from the spot, and then Moussa Djenepo with a brace to turn things around and hand Southampton a trophy. See, it's different every year. This is wonderful. Champions League, did any of our English clubs do well? Can I have a look up there? Go all groups, that's what I'm after. Leicester came bottom of their group. That's disappointing. they could have done alright, they could have got out of that group. Group B, Bournemouth. Bournemouth came third in their group with Roma, Monaco and Zenit St Petersburg. That's alright. Man City still in there, they'd won the Champions League prior, which meant they qualified. Got Southampton. Southampton came bottom of their group. That was a hard group. You can't begrudge Southampton not getting through that. Juventus, Atletico Madrid and Bayern Munich. Not Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen. I knew it was Bayer Leverkusen. Still hard. So they didn't get through, and Everton came third in another tough group with Paris Saint-Germain, Barcelona and Braga. Let's have a look at Everton here. Obviously they won the Premier League. How did they do obviously they'll have gone into the Europa League. How did they get on? They made it to the quarter-finals where they lost to Lyon. Excellent stuff though from Everton to win the Premier League title. Let's look at the table again. So I'll look at the stats. Chris Wood once again winning the Golden Boot. This time he only got 20 goals. Barbosa just shy of him by 1 with 19 goals in his first season in English football. Albion Ajeti, you'll know him, he was the West Ham striker who's just joined Celtic, 17 goals. Assists, Alan Saint-Maximin. Again, he's probably going to be one of the stars of the Premier League. With the way he plays, I mean he's a star now, but with big players like De Bruyne and Salah gone, you're looking at someone like Saint-Maximin to bring the neutrals in, and he's doing wonderfully in a Newcastle shirt. Let's have a quick look at Newcastle. The manager is Eddie Howe, so Steve Bruce was gone, that's good for Newcastle. Has there been a takeover of sorts? Let's have a look. Yes. Nikos Zamanis took the club over. They're now rich, so that's good. There's no Amanda Staveley, but that doesn't matter. Callum Wilson doing well for Newcastle. They're back in European football. Next season they'll be in the Europa League, so we'll have to check how they got on. Let's have a look at Leeds, because obviously they qualified for the Europa. They finished 7th, have narrowly missed out on European football this season. I told a lie actually. Or did I? Southampton won the cup, but they've just qualified for the Europa Conference League, so that's great. Gordon Stratton's still the Leeds manager. Let's have a look at how they got on in the Europa League. They made it out of the group, and then in the second knockout round they were beaten by Bayer Leverkusen, who Southampton faced in the Champions League. 2-0 in aggregate. No disgrace there. Good return for Leeds to European football. More from them to come. In the Community Shield, how did they get on? They lost to Leicester 3-2. James Maddison's 82nd minute winner. Sorting that tie out. Obviously with Project Big Picture they would have scrapped the Community Shield, but Leicester will be glad it stayed because they've won it. So there we go, going down as we say, Aston Villa, Swansea and Nottingham Forest. Let's have a look at the Championship. Let's see who we've got coming up. Who will be replacing those 3 teams? Is it going to be someone new? Who we've got? Watford. Watford are coming back up. Brentford are coming back up. And it's Stoke. Last season's beaten playoff finalists. This time they've gone up automatically with 83 points. Christ, Watford absolutely romped the division. They've hit that 100 point mark. Also in the playoffs were QPR, Reading and Blackburn. The other relegated teams, Cardiff came 12th. Not a good season. Looks like they just belong in the Championship. Sunderland are back in the Championship. They've came 17th. Sunderland are a big club. They should be back in the Premier League. You'd like to think with this reformed system, if we'll go on for quite a few years, you'd like to think they would make it back in the top flight. We'd see a few tinier derbies perhaps, but for now they're playing in the Championship. Going down, Bolton, Oxford and Coventry. So Watford are back. Stoke back after a long time. Be interested to see how they get on. And Brentford. Who's the Brentford manager currently? Steve Bruce. Well done, Steve. Good old Steve Bruce getting another promotion under his belt. 2 seasons in and I think this has proven that we don't need the big 6. We're getting excitement, we're getting new people winning trophies, drama, all over the divisions. So let's simulate one more year, let's see what happens. Can Everton defend their crown? Let's find out. Or will we get a 3rd Premier League winner? Okay, so here we go, the 3rd and final season we're going to look at in this video. As I always say, let me know in the comments below if you want me to keep this simulation going, because I think this one's pretty interesting. But this is going to be the final season we'll look at. And as you can see, Everton have defended the Premier League title. It's something that's hard to do. We'll look at the past winners. Man City defended the title. Man United won 3 on the bounce. Chelsea won 2 on the bounce. But it's not often done. Defending the Premier League is a hard thing to do. And Everton have done it. 2 Premier League titles in a row. It's another narrow win. They were 3 points ahead of Burnley. Look at else at the top 4. Bristol City have stayed up there. They've come 3rd. Obviously down 1 from the season before. But still, that's incredible. Brighton have cracked into the top 4. Just pipping Leicester on goal difference. My word, this is exciting. If you look at the competition reputation, the Premier League's still the third most popular league in the world. You've got that English Super League way out on top. Whatever is happening up there, who knows? Well, I don't know if we can find out, but who knows? You've probably got to pay a lot to watch it, put it that way. My little worry was that I'd done it really wrong, that the big players from those clubs would just fly back to the Premier League and sign for Sheffield United or Burnley or whatever. But it doesn't look like that's happening at all. We've got an exciting, fresh Premier League title, and the golden boot this season has gone to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but not of Everton, of Derby County. 17 goals he's got. Don't know what's happened to Chris Wood this season. Considering Burnley came second, you would have thought Chris Wood would do well again. Let's have a look at how he's done. The top striker in the Premier League for me. 15 goals again. He's the new Sergio Aguero or Harry Kane or Pele, Maradona. He's just fabulous, isn't he? Burnley now a rich club as well. Has there been a takeover there, or is that just... That might just be the way that things have gone now, because there's more money to go around. These clubs are finishing higher up. They're getting Champions League, European football, getting more investment, getting more sponsorship deals. Everyone's benefiting from this. It's great. This should happen. This should 100% happen. Watford, they won the championship last season. They've came 6th. So they're going to be in the Europa Conference League. Let's have a look at who else was promoted. Stoke have gone straight back down. That's disappointing for them. But Brentford have survived. Also relegated Derby. That is quite surprising. I was about to say there's no surprise there, but that is surprising considering Dominic Calvert-Lewin won the Golden Boot. Also, they're going to be joining the championship by Bournemouth, which just shows the unpredictable nature of these divisions. I mean, in the first season they came 3rd. Then they were down to 12th. They couldn't cope with Champions League football. Now they've been relegated with Rafa Benitez as manager. So I mean, these clubs are still attracting big managers. You know, just because Man City and Tottenham aren't in the Premier League, big managers still come to the Premier League. Rafa Benitez back, but he's going to be in the Championship next season. Wolves are way down in 14th. Southampton down to 13th. Where Leeds 8th. Newcastle down in 10th. But it's different every season. We're going to have a look at Bristol City, because I want to know how they got on in the Champions League. Dean Holden's still the manager there. They got out of their group. They made it out the Champions League group and set up a first knockout tie with Juventus. And wow, Bristol City beat Juventus. They came from behind to beat Juventus 2-1 in the first leg. They were beaten 3-0 in the second, but still, this is a team that's got Cristiano Ronaldo. They had to come from behind to beat Bristol City. They're going to get another crack in the Champions League though, you know. They also got to the League Cup final. Bristol City are the team to watch. They got to the League Cup final. They were beaten in extra time by Burnley. Another new winner of a trophy. Let's have a look at the FA Cup. Let's see who won that. Blackburn. A championship team have won the FA Cup. When was the last time that happened? I can't think off the top of my head. In the final they beat Everton. Is that a giant killing? 2-1 at Wembley to the Rovers. Adam Armstrong in the 79th minute winning it for them. So does that mean they're going to be in the Europa Conference League or the Europa League? I'm not sure. We'll have to find out, like I say, if we simulate another season. Bristol City, man, that is fantastic. Have a look at Everton here. There's been a change of manager. Jorge Jesus now the manager, or Jorge Jesus. I'm not sure which way around it is. I apologise to whoever's offended by that, but he's the manager now. Let's see where Ancelotti went. He's left his manager role. He is now the manager of Manchester City. Quickly, while we're on Manchester City, let's see if we'll go in the competition. Will it show if they've won the English Super League? There's no mention of it. I can't. No mention whatsoever of the English Super League. So who knows what's happening there. Kevin De Bruyne is a wanted man, but he's still playing football apparently. Don't know who against. Well, I know who against, but I don't know where it's happening. Might be happening on Mars or something. Who knows? At least they're still getting a... I was slightly worried at the start that they just wouldn't be playing football at all. But that isn't happening. This new Premier League is fantastic. West Brom came 11th. I mean, where are you going to say that? They're not going to survive this season. They might survive, but 11th, wonderful. It's changing every season. The only team who've consistently been in the top 2 is Everton. Leicester, you'd think they were going to be the second best, first best team. Down in 5th, Brendan Rodgers has been sacked now. Obviously it wasn't enough to come 5th. Europa League football isn't good enough for Leicester anymore. They should be in the Champions League. Let's have a look at the Champions League. Let's see how our English teams got on. As we say, we've seen Bristol City do pretty well considering it's Bristol City. We'll go straight to the Champions League. Group stage, all groups. We'll have a scroll down. Everton came top of their group against Porto, Frankfurt and Basel. That's a relatively easy group for Everton. Bristol City came second in their group behind Benfica, but they came above Shakhtar and Besiktas. And then we've got Group G. Leicester came third. That's a tough group. Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan and PSV. And Crystal Palace, I forgot they were in it, Christ. They came bottom of their group. Only got 2 points. Topped by Real Madrid, second Olympic Lyon. And then third was Celtic. How did Crystal Palace get on this season? 16th. It was almost as if it was just a fluke them finishing third. But they did it, fair play to them. That's the new Premier League, that's what we're about. Let's go to the knockout stages. How did Everton do there? They beat Wolfsburg, so they made it through. They were the one English representative. Let's go to the quarters. And that's where Everton were knocked out. They were beaten by PSG. But as it stands, Everton are the team to beat in English football. Well, in the English Premier League. Back-to-back Premier League wins. They've won the FA Cup. They're competing in the Champions League. They're doing well. So let me know if you want me to simulate this anymore, because I think we need to see if there is a correlation. See if there is going to be a standout. Let's have a look at the Championship. Let's see who's going to be coming up. Preston. A team with a fair bit of history. I think were they the original Invincibles. They won the playoffs even though they came 6th. Swansea won the league with 98 points. Aston Villa second, they're back in the top flight. That's mad to think the top flight with no big 6 and Aston Villa was still having to fight to come back up. But Preston won the playoffs. They beat Middlesbrough on penalties in the final. And Blackburn nearly got promoted. Well, they nearly made it into the playoffs, but they're going to be playing in the Europa League next season. Sunderland there down in 21st. They nearly went back down to the 3rd tier. It doesn't look like we haven't got any real surprises in the Championship. I mean, the teams in the bottom half are the ones that are coming up and down from League One. We'll go back to the Premier League. Neil Maupay doing well. Curtis Jones, Liverpool youngster, now a Premier League star by the looks of things. £30 million move to West Ham. Doing very well there at the London Stadium. Are younger players getting more of a chance now? Are they getting the chance to come through? I mean, not that Curtis Jones isn't getting a chance at Liverpool, but in 2 years' time, is he going to be a star in the Premier League? He is here. Gabriel Barbosa still a star player. Wilfred Ndidi for Leicester. James Rodriguez we've still got. I'll have a look at the reputation there. The Premier League it's still the 3rd. It's still more reputable than the Italian top flight, the German top flight, the French top flight, the Portuguese top flight. Even without those big 6 clubs, the Premier League still has an appeal. It's a lot more competitive. I mean, Watford were only 3 points off Champions League football after only just winning the Championship. The gulf between the top flight and the Championship is much smaller now. It's much more competitive. I think this simulation has been a massive success, and we've just proven that we don't need the top 6 clubs to have a fun Premier League. If anything, this is more fun. Everton, especially if you're an Everton fan, 2 Premier League titles, Christ. But we will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, let us know what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. As I say, let me know if you want to see more of this. More than happy to do it. It seems pretty fun. But until next time, we will see you around.